Hi there, and welcome to Connect, the weekly podcast for the California MBA, featuring one-on-one interviews with movers and shakers in the mortgage industry. I'm Susan Milazzo, CEO of the California MBA, and very happy that you could join us today. Before we get to today's guest, I'd like to thank our Connect podcast sponsor, Incelerate.
Thanks, Susan, and thanks for listening. This is Josh Wren, CEO and founder of Incelerate. We're grateful for our partnership with the CMBA and are committed as a company to help lenders close more loans. We do this with our customer experience platform that has a CRM, lead management, marketing, automation, robust content library, desktop and mobile applications. We do this to help you engage and stay connected to your current borrowers, referral partners, past borrowers, and potential new ones. If you want to find out why we're the fastest growing CRM provider in the mortgage industry, please reach out to us and ask for a demo.
And so with that, I would like to welcome today's guest, Alex Kutsishin, CEO of Sales Boomerang. Alex, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I must say, I just heard you talk about Incelerate, and I'm just one of the biggest fans of who they are, what they do, why they do it, the leadership there, and everything. So, an honor to have them be the sponsor of our conversation.
Great, yeah. Josh does a fantastic job at Incelerate. We're very happy to partner with him. And so, getting into today's podcast, Alex, you've been a guest on Connect before, and thank you so much for all the support you've given to the California MBA over the years. Sales Boomerang has just an incredible success story. What can you share with other entrepreneurs that are just getting started?
And other entrepreneurs, Susan, just to be clear, are we talking about other entrepreneurs in the mortgage industry, or can I speak broadly to entrepreneurs in general?
I would say anybody starting a business. I know a long time ago, before I did this, I had a business, and so I know what it's like. And I think that there are some themes that go across all industries if you're an entrepreneur.
Susan, this may be one of my favorite topics of conversation, period. Like if someone was to, I could be watching my favorite movie, and someone says, hey, let's talk about entrepreneurialism and what it takes. And I'd be like, pause, let's do that. Right?
This is it.
Okay?
This is the only thing I want to talk about.
Yeah. So what advice do we have for entrepreneurs that are getting started? So number one is the answer is in the question, as it typically is. Get started. Like that's the number one thing to do. Depending on the industry, depending on what you're trying to do, if it doesn't take the investment of a lot of equipment or a very specialized type of knowledge or access to certain information, if it requires you, just start. As a matter of fact, I recommend entrepreneurs don't even incorporate a business. Don't even right away. Like if you're like, oh, I can't start until I incorporate and have a tax ID, I say, fine. If that's your fear, don't worry about that. Do that later.
Right.
Go talk to your customers now. Go do your service, whatever that thing you're trying to do, go just go do it. The thing that a lot of people struggle with is trying to make an idea perfect. And to be honest,
right,
you have to be embarrassed about your first rollout of any idea, any search. You just got to be embarrassed, right? It's your first one. You can't get it right the first time. You should do it well. You're going to be the best that you can be at the time, but you just need hands-on experience. What's the customer going to say? What should I charge? Sometimes you charge nothing just to see. Sometimes you charge a tenth of what you're going to charge so that you get someone to pay you to be honest with you, right? What I found out early on in my career and as an entrepreneur, this is my 8th company, Sales Boomerang, right? I started my first company when I was 20, and I've just never looked back. I've just enjoyed building, creating, and every time you start, you find out if there is a demand, a need for your service. How do you know that? Or your solution, your product? Just put it in the hands of your potential customers.
Right.
And so the biggest advice I like to give is exactly that. Just start, right? Years of planning to never get started, right? It's just discouraging. It's super discouraging. So just have the confidence to start, and it's okay to not have a perfect plan.
And it kind of becomes a journey, right? I mean, you get, like you say, get it started, and then you kind of see kind of what the feedback is. It's like things kind of evolve over time, and your product is, kind of takes some time sometimes, but partnering with your customers kind of, moves you in that right direction.
Yeah, but even if you have to build a piece of technology and you're not a developer and you don't have access to engineers today, you're not sure if you can afford to hire somebody besides all the outsourcing that's out there, go talk to your customer and present your solution as if it's already ready to go and see what you get. Hey, Susan, I'm getting ready to roll out this platform to help all the MBAs out there get 10 times more members in the course of the first 12 months. How does that sound? Oh, what? Are you serious? How are you going to do that?
Right, right,
Oh, there is interest. You want to find a way to grow your member base 10 times in the first 12 months? Yeah. Fantastic. I didn't know that was something you guys would be that interested in. Do you think others would be interested in that too? Oh, you do it for me. I'll introduce you to every one of them. Fantastic.
right,
You don't have to have a finalized product to find out if your customers will be willing to do it.
right,
And then you can start throwing out numbers, right? And get people on lists and say, hey, perfect. I have a couple other people ahead of you, but you don't have to have, right? You're creating an experience. You're feeding
right,
your idea with real conversations and not, well, until it's done, I can't share this with anyone, right?
right,
The other thing I'll tell entrepreneurs is talk to a variety of people. Don't just talk to your friends. Don't just talk to your family members. Don't just talk to your coworkers. Talk to a variety of people. And if you're never, ever, ever hearing anyone say, that's dumb, or that's not going to happen, or this is, you are either A, not talking to the right people, or B, you haven't pushed your idea to the limit, right? You've only hit the surface, and people are like, oh, that sounds great. If you keep hearing that, don't get too excited, right? You
right.
need someone to challenge it, because without a challenge, when you go to the market and hit your first challenge, you won't know what to do. You're like, wait, everyone told me they love it. Why are you not buying it, right? So you need someone to say, I don't understand how you're going to make this possible. 10x my members. That sounds great, but I don't think you're able to, and no one's been able to do that. Right?
Right.
Why do you think it's right? And then you start asking different questions. But when everybody tells you it's great, you can never innovate. You can never innovate.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's just have that, kind of again, creating that journey, and then you kind of become a partner with your customers, right? You're kind of evolving. What do they need? What am I providing? And kind of fine tuning your product as you go along. That's great. That's great advice. So kind of, talking about that, in this current environment, everybody's, cutting budgets right and left, but it seems like lenders are spending a lot with Sales Boomerang in your product. Why, what's the big draw to Sales Boomerang this year?
Well, I think first of all, we were almost designed for this market, right? When finding the right customer becomes hard, Sales Boomerang becomes the most valuable thing you can have, because that's what we do. We identify the person in your database that's ready for a loan and which loan they're ready for today, right? And now that we're partnered with Mortgage Coach and our combining efforts, now we've identified, and then we give you the world's best loan presentation system that educates your customer at the same time as informing them of the best loan option. And we're seeing like the speed for decision is through the roof based on a generic black and white presentation. And here's a document, this is what your loan could look like, here's another option for a loan, and now you got to look at these big black and white piece of paper to figure out which loan is better for you. That's gone when you start to combine the Sales Boomerang Mortgage Coach concept. But to answer your question of why are so many people right now, actually we have lines of lenders outside the door needing this, is because it's hard to identify the best customer right now, but not for us, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why the draw is here. And then the other piece of it is, we don't just identify and tell you that we're really good at what we do. We prove to you that we're really good at what we do by giving you a report card on how we've performed for you, right? Like that's a thing that's very important for a lender. Is this working? That's never a question. If it's not working, you'll see it. We'll show you in a report. We delivered 800 notifications for you for a total of, $200 million in loan opportunities this month, and you converted 0. That's a problem, right? But we can also show you, and this is typically more of the case, we deliver $200 million in worth of loan opportunities. You've already apped 38 million of them, and you have 40 million worth of conversations happening, and 3 million have already literally converted and closed. Like we give you a full report of the performance of your own customer base. And so it's just a solution for the right solution for the time. I mean, it really is. And it's not just for this time, it's really important. But when you look at organizations like, you know, and I'm sure everybody uses this comparison, Susan, like Rocket or Better.com or things like that, they have armies of data science teams, right? Our lenders do not have that. Most do not have that, right? And so Sales Boomerang gives a commercially tested solution that puts a data science army in every single lender's team. That's it. Like they're all there. It's just done through a commercially scalable product rather than literal human beings working on their individual pieces, which actually, Susan, ends up being a much better solution. I would put us against Rocket, Better.com any day of the week because they're only focusing on their own production and their own experiences. We have 180, almost 200 just in Sales Boomerang, combined between the two organizations, over 250, I believe, organizations working with us. And we use what's called community intelligence. We take the results that are working in the community and share it with the community, whereas Rocket just knows what Rocket's doing, doesn't know that they can get better results. And so we see lenders performing better. We take the lessons we've learned from what makes them perform better, and we infuse that into all the other lenders we work with, and so their results continue to go up. That's why we have the Retention Rockstar Awards, where we have lenders. Remember, we would celebrate 20x. We have lenders over 50x ROI now, right? Like they're, for every dollar invested, they're getting $50+ back. It's really special.
Yeah, having that metrics of, you know, of measuring that return on their investment is very key. That's an incredible feature of Sales Boomerang. So talking about your product a little bit more, besides the alerts that are just perfectly catered to the market right now, making lenders successful, how is Sales Boomerang able to help drive more business from realtors to lenders?
Oh, I love this question. So I'll answer this question with a story, and then I'll get into the details of it. So in 2017, when we launched, I started to talk to lots of lenders, and they all started to tell me how important the realtor is. And I'm hearing all this, and everyone says how important this is, and that's why we get them lunches, and that's why we buy them donuts, and that's why we treat them like they're kings and queens, and they're just so important to us. And I started to finally ask the question. I said, well, why are they so important? And they go, well, they got the deals. I said, they got the deals? What does that mean? Like, well, they got all the referrals. I said, oh, I get it. Every referral they give you turns into a deal. They're like, oh, no, I wish. I'm like, okay, so they're like a lead source for you, but a referral, it's warmer, it's easier, better, easier to convert. They're like, yes. I said, the truth is, you have way more deals and referrals to give your realtor than your realtor has to give you. And everyone's like, how's that possible? And so then we would show them. We would say, you have a database of, let's call it, let's just use a larger lender. Let's say 100,000 records. That's customers that have done loans with you, leads in your pipeline, people you've turned down, right? Like those are all people that are customers that either have already purchased or haven't purchased yet your solution. I'm not talking about a house. I'm talking about they've used your services or they haven't used them yet, right? So everyone in your database is a customer. They're just maybe not a customer, paying customer today, right? And so if you have 100,000 people in your customer base, that can produce anywhere from, I don't know, 10,000 opportunities to, let's go lower. Let's just call it 5 to 10,000 opportunities. And let's use a very simple number. Let's use 10,000 in this case, and that's a month. When you have 100,000 records in your customer base, there's over 10,000 opportunities for a mortgage every single month, just from your customers, just from your database. Well, your realtors have the same kind of data, and they're getting 0 opportunities out of it. So when I say to lenders, you have more referrals to give to your agents than they have to you, they have a hard time understanding until I show them the numbers and say, out of those 10,000 opportunities a month, about 40% are purchases. That's 4,000 referrals a month you can give to your agents. That's without you asking for their data. That's just your data. And if you have no agent tied to an opportunity, you can get new agents. Hey, I got a potential purchase here. Can I refer this to you? Right? Of course you can. Call me anytime with that kind of message.
Right.
And how quickly do you think you can turn somebody around if you call them 5 times in 1 month? I think I have another purchase here for you.
Right.
How quickly would that person say, well, you know what? I need to start referring business to you. You don't have to ask for it. They're going to start giving it to you. And then you say, by the way, you like these referrals? I can take your base, add it to my base, and every single opportunity that exists in your customer base, I can give back to you every single day, every day. Some of them may be purchase, some of them may be refi, and the realtor may say, well, why should I care about a refi? Oh my goodness, Mr. and Mrs. Agent, here's why. Because if you refer that person to me, I do the refi. Any event following, I'm gonna refer back to you. They're gonna have 3 to 4 purchases in their lifetime. You've got one of the potential 4. Let's get you the other 3. But if you have no clue that they're in the market, you have no clue that they changed their life, you have no clue that they had a baby, that they just got married, you have no clue that they have $200,000 in equity in their home, you have no clue that they just fixed their credit from 620 to 750, that they're in a brand new place to make better buying decisions, more affordable buying decisions, I can bring that to you every single day. And so you want to refer your refis to me because if we keep them in our circle, which by the way isn't a concept that Alex made up. I believe there's a company called Keller Williams that said, what if we started doing mortgages, right? And we kept it cohesive, right? So this is not just an interesting idea from Sales Boomerang. This is what every realtor and every mortgage company wishes they could do, is keep one single brand for purchase and refi. Well, you can do that without having to buy a real estate company, and a real estate company without having to buy a mortgage company. You can do that today, armed with this intelligence and passing the information along. No more, I'll pay for your marketing. It's how are we a team? How are we going to maximize and unlock every opportunity in our mutual customer bases, databases, so that we don't miss, right? There is no borrower left behind, right? But your borrower is also your buyer, right? Like there's no disconnect. It's the same people. So the way that we're helping agents help lenders help agents, right? It's this ping 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 back and forth, is we're arming the lender with the power to help the agent double their volume in the first 12 months if they work exclusively with a Sales Boomerang lender, because every opportunity goes back to them. And one of the coolest things we've heard, Susan, this is one of my favorite things, when an agent hears from a lender that their customer is doing like a cash out, and the realtor typically would be like, why are you telling me this? Well, that agent calls or texts the borrower and says, congrats, I hear you're working with Alex again, doing a cash out. It's perfect time. I just want to congratulate you. Thank you for staying in our circle. Agents get calls from the customer going, I'm so glad you texted me. My brother's actually looking to list his house. Do you think you can help him?
Yeah, love it. It's so important in this market too. I mean, that solution is that's critical for lenders right now because they're all looking.
And agents, critical for agents too. 17.3 offers per home. That means 16 people aren't getting a house.
Yeah.
So you got to know. You got to know.
So, you mentioned, your new relationship with Mortgage Coach. Tell us a little bit about that. Sales Boomerang and Mortgage Coach. What are we doing?
Oh my goodness. It is truly like one of the, here.
The sweetest
combination. I don't know why it's not showing up clearly. There it is. Right
there. There it is.
Yeah. The sweetest combination in the industry, right? It's like peanut butter and chocolate. Peanut butter is good on its own. Chocolate is good on its own. Put it together in a little cup. It's one of the best selling candies in the world, right?
There you go.
That is Sales Boomerang and Mortgage Coach. So why is it so powerful that way? Well, if we, and I'm going to read something, because literally right before we got on a call, Susan, Dave Savage and I were on the phone, and we were like, let's really put a good message out there for the industry to understand. And so we're working on this. So you got to tell me what you think about this.
Because it happens. I love it.
Here's the combination. Here's the value prop of both solutions. Ready? By using our proprietary borrower intelligence algorithm, that's Sales Boomerang, We identify every opportunity in your database that is ready for a loan and which loan they're best for them today, okay? We then weaponize your team by giving them the biggest and most innovative loan presentation platform. That's what Mortgage Coach is, the biggest and most innovative loan presentation platform that educates and increases the borrower's confidence in making a decision quickly. So think about this, Susan. Sales Boomerang identifies the person that could benefit from a loan today, not a loan, your loan, not Quicken's loan, not your neighbor's loan, but we're using your criteria, your loan criteria, and we're saying, here's a person in your database that's perfectly suited for this right now and has lots of value. Then the question comes, how do I present this? Great, I got this. What do I say? How do I say it? How do I present it? Do not ever need to think about that anymore. Every notification now has a total cost analysis from Mortgage Coach attached to it. So it educates and gives the consumer confidence. And we're seeing, I'm going to say this, but I don't want anyone running after me and having me to prove it yet, because we're working on the proof. But we're seeing 2 to 3 times faster decision making when you incorporate a TCA, Mortgage Coach total cost analysis, right, into the and put it in front of the consumer. So now you've identified the right person with the right message at the right time. And so you're seeing an increase in decision making, which right now in this environment is key. You don't make a decision quickly, the house is gone. You don't make a decision quickly, it costs you way more to do a loan tomorrow because the rates, right? And so the speed at which you make decisions is key. And the best part about using Mortgage Coach is one of the options you always see, this is so important, one of the options you always see in their amazing presentation that's on your phone or on your computer is the cost of doing nothing. Mr. and Mrs. Borrower, one of your options is to do nothing. That's your choice. But here's the cost of doing nothing. And you're not selling anything. You're putting this beautiful presentation in front of someone and they see it for themselves and go, well, this one makes the most sense. Okay, great. If that makes the most sense, just click there to apply. We'll rock and roll, right? Yeah. And so the combination of intelligence and presentation, it's
the sweetest.
It's the sweetest.
The sweetest combination. I love it.
There's nothing better.
I love it. Very, very innovative relationship there with Sales Boomerang and Mortgage Coach, and Sales Boomerang has been a sponsor of our Mortgage Innovators Conference since its inception. Thank you, yes. Alex. It has been a really fun journey to put all this together, and we're excited for this year. Can you share with some of our listeners what the value of this event is and why you keep coming back?
Oh, well, first of all, you guys do such a great job actually being present, meaning you aren't putting together the event and already focusing on the next event. Like right. There's so many organizations that are like, come to this event. By the way, what about the, and it's like, wait, can we focus here? Right. And so you guys are present, which is an incredible value. And the way that you bring, like, not just bring people together, but the way that you organize the event, a lot of events miss the fact that if you try to stuff too much in, you're going to miss something, right? You guys just have this very methodical cadence to it, which I love also. And so the presence, the way that you put together the presentation, and then you all as people, just you all care. You don't pretend to care. You're not like, we're going to care while he's listening, but then we're not going to care afterwards. No, you guys care, and you show it by offering up advice, connections, introductions. It's just the difference between people who care and don't care. That's all. And you guys care, and that's noticeable.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we are very proud of that event. We're making, because we're a nonprofit representing, your client base, my membership, independent mortgage bankers, we're making it very reasonably priced for lenders to come, $79 buy one, get one. But if you're a lender and you're listening, you can contact Alex at Sales Boomerang and you can get even deeper discount because he's got a little special code that'll get you there for $49 plus bringing a colleague with you. So hopefully we will see you guys and see you all there at this big event. Also,
and the quality of people that come is key. Like it's quality people, people that are just open to talking, wanting advice, wanting to connect. people there from the partner side or vendor side, however you want to call them, that want to give advice, and that always bring their best people to these events. So I think it's this combination of interested lenders and independent mortgage bankers and partners or technology partners or vendors that want to bring the best together, right? We're not just putting anyone out on the field and having these meetings there. I'll be there, so a couple other people from the team will be there. So we are putting just the best team members out there to service the community.
Yeah, great. And those lenders are looking for great innovation. This is going to be the place to be. Well, thank you, Alex. I really appreciate all the support Sales Boomerang has given to the California MBA over these years, and I'll look forward to seeing you here in a couple of weeks at our big Mortgage Innovators Conference.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you. Can't wait to be there. And what a beautiful location it always is.
Okay, thanks. And thank all of you for joining us today. Hope that you enjoyed this episode of the Connect podcast. To view all of our podcast episodes, you can visit us on our YouTube channel. We're also on SoundCloud and Apple Podcast and Spotify. That's it for this episode, and we'll see you next time.